Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. But if you're new, you make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. In today's video is episode 8 of Vegan and Fit series. We're gonna talk about beginner cooking. What that means is how to cook vegan for beginners. So you make sure you watch the video and I'll see you in the end of the video. Enjoy!
Oh,
That's that. We are live.
hi, Hard. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, dear?
Good, good. Thank you again so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here chatting with you today.
Thank you so much for joining me. I absolutely love your page, by the way. That was one reason why I choose you, to be my guest. So to explain to our followers, your page is mainly plant-based, right?
Yes.
Yes, and you help people to discover vegan lifestyle, plant-based nutrition, because of course, when someone wants to approach this lifestyle, there's so much, right? Food is big part of our daily lifestyle. So when we need to swap, it's a bit overwhelming because we don't know where to start. So I thought, what better person than you to explain that, because you have actually free vegan courses, right, that people can enroll and learn where to start and how to approach. So I'm like, yes, you can definitely share with us everything. So can you please introduce yourself and you tell me why you became vegan and a bit of a background?
Awesome. Of course. Of course. Yeah. Well, again, I'm Cheryl Martinez. I officially went vegan January of 2020, like kind of right before the pandemic started. But I gave up eating meat in 2012. I was living in India for a while, and it's such a friendly country that I knew it was something I always wanted to do. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not easy going vegan. But once you are vegan, you're like, oh my God, I wish I did this sooner. But getting to that point is actually the hardest part. So and that's the thing. It's like people think, oh, I can't go vegan, I can't go vegan. But making the decision to want to transition, that is step one and the hardest step. I promise you, everything after that, you'll just realize that like the benefits and the results that you're getting from that lifestyle change far exceed anything that you think you're giving up. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what I discovered. And I kind of felt so mad at myself that it took me so long to get there, that I'm like, okay, I understand what the biggest hurdles were. I'm the perfect example of someone that took forever to do it, that someone who thought they couldn't do it. So if I can do it, anyone can. And I'm going to help show people how to do that and help people realize that living a plant-forward lifestyle doesn't have to be so black and white. It also doesn't have to be I'm vegan or I'm not vegan. A lot of people are so hardcore, like, oh, well, you're not really vegan, blah, 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 and
Yeah.
obviously, and that's great. I mean, I love the hardcore vegans too, but when you're trying to help non-vegans, like, be comfortable, there is a transition period where you just need to, just allow yourself to make mistakes, allow yourself to just be patient with yourself, and go with your own pace. It is okay to cut out foods at different times. You can figure out what works best for you and not punish yourself if you make a mistake, So point being, my site is called Veginner Cooking. Veginner, like the word beginner, but with a V. So vegan cooking for beginners, aka Veginner Cooking. So at veginnercooking.com, not only do we have our free 30-day vegan challenge, because I do recommend that you try it for 30 days just so you can really start to experience the health benefits. Figure out how vegan you want to be, but overall, what we promote at Veginner Cooking is a plant-forward lifestyle. We're not promoting, being 100% vegan. We're promoting a plant-forward lifestyle. And if you Google plant-forward, you can see what it means. Have you heard it before?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I see through, and it was like, yeah, I mean, it's so different of what I imagine, right? Because depends what people you follow, they're sometimes black and white. So I'm like, it really depends what's your why, and why you decided to take that step, and how much you want to put in that transition. So it's really different because it's a really personal, I will say, like, you know, like religion, it's so personal. Everybody feels a different way about it, right? So it's the same with this. It doesn't need to be a black and white because not everyone has the same body, the same experience, and some people have some disease, or for one reason. It's, you know, really, really individual. So definitely.
I'd say my number one piece of advice, if you are going to give this a try, is to think about what motivates you, right? What is why you're doing this, and hold on to that, especially in the beginning. The first few months is going to be the hardest part because you're habits, and changing your habits no matter what it is, you know, whether you weren't someone who worked out and now you're trying to work out, whatever your habits are, changing any kind of habits in your daily lifestyle takes time to get accustomed to the new habits. So in those first few months, my number one piece of advice is to hold on to what your motivation is. And like for me, for example, it was animals. Of course, the health benefits are amazing, but animals were my number one motivation, right? I wanted that cheese empanada because I'm Puerto Rican, right? So whenever I wanted to grab that cheese empanada, I could just, is the 5 minutes of me eating that empanada worth, you know, the animals that had to suffer in the dairy industry for that to be made? And then I can put that down and then be proud. Right? You can be proud of yourself. So every time that you say no to cruelty, for example, in my case, I'm actually rewarding myself by being proud, right? So that's kind of how you can get through the beginning. But yeah, just, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I just love to hear your experience and everyone's experience, because we're all different. Like I said, we've all been through different reasons why we transition and different ways. And I love always to hear another point of view, because we can all learn from each other anyway and help other people. As a coach myself, I mean, people transition for so many reasons, and how you approach the first few weeks or the first month is really, really important to how the outcome will be in 1 year time, right?
Make it past that first initial stage.
Exactly.
They don't know where to begin. They don't know what food to eat. They can't get out of their daily habit. They don't have the right support system. They're not keeping motivation in mind. Like there's, you know, once you get through that first like 3-4 month hurdle, then you're in it to win it. I'm telling you. Like so to get started, I figured if I could build a support site like veginnercooking.com that'll help make the transition process not only easier but more delicious and fun. Then I'm like, then this could not only help my bigger mission in life, which is saving animals, right? Because the more people I can help to not eat animals, the more animals I can save, but also knowing that I'm making a difference in their life, not only making the transition less difficult, but knowing that I'm better their health at the same time. So the words are just all over the place, and it's a wonderful feeling.
Amazing. So, okay, so let's start to say that someone is finally decided, okay, so where to start in the kitchen? So it can be so overwhelming if you used to eat a certain way and then you need to swap overnight. So first of all, I think you agree with me, it's not overnight. So let's start to say that, of course. So what to do first? Of course, with my previous episode, I start to talk about grocery shopping. So that's the first step, right? Go and get them items that maybe you didn't used to eat before, right? So
one step prior to that, there's one step prior to the first thing you need to do is actually remove all temptation. Okay, step one is remove temptation. You need to go through all your cabinets and your fridge, and you need to take everything out that comes from an animal, and you need to put that in a bag and either donate it, give it to a friend, a neighbor, a family member. I don't care. You just need to be out of sight, out of mind. That is the very first thing you need to do. If the isn't there, then it won't be as hard, okay? So if you have a ton of yummy vegan food to choose from in your kitchen and you're not surrounded by all those old temptations, that's the easiest way to slip up in the beginning. So remove all temptation.
Yeah, definitely. I usually don't say that because many people try to transition with someone else in the house that is no vegan or is not willing to go vegan. For example, myself, my partner is no vegan, so I couldn't do that at first, right? So I had to find other ways for me to do so.
Well,
So
I have
it's
piece of advice if you're in a situation like that, because you're right, that's a good point. Some people are trying to do this, they have roommates, they have partners who are not trying to do it with them. The first thing that I recommend that you do is get them on board by supporting you, okay? And what I mean by that is they don't have to do it too, but you should help them understand as to why you're doing it so that they can be supportive and want to help you reach your goals. And there are a couple really easy ways you can do that. For example, there are tons of documentaries on Netflix, like What Health, Cowspiracy, The Game Changers. If you, and mind you, they're enjoyable, whether you're trying to go vegan or not.
yeah.
Really good films to just sit there and enjoy with whomever. So if you can get your loved ones to sit with you, watch these films, they might not want to do it themselves, but they will definitely understand while you're doing it, and they'll be so supportive, especially during your beginning process. So
Absolutely.
Vegan, but maybe they don't mind trying it for 30 days with you to help you jumpstart the beginning, the hardest part.
Yeah.
They care about you, they'll be most likely to want to do that, especially if there's going to be a lot of yummy vegan food around them and, you know, you're going to be cooking for them and stuff, you know, like, why not? If they care about you, what's 30 days? Anyone can do 30 days, okay? Anyone can try vegan for 30 days. It's sticking out for the long term that takes the commitment, right? So get your family and friends on board by supporting you. That's also, I'd say, what to do in step 1.
Yeah. Next step.
So step 2 is like you said, now learning how to cook for yourself. I think as a vegan, it's really, really important to make a lot of your own food. Like, yes, of course, restaurants are becoming so much more accommodating now. You can pretty much go to any restaurant, whether it's a vegan restaurant or not, and you can figure out, you know, a vegan meal or a couple of vegan sides to put together to eat, or a lot of the chefs are willing to accommodate you and even make you something special. So it's not hard, I'd say, eating out, but it is important to cook for yourself because you don't want to be surrounded by the other temptations. So I don't recommend going out to restaurants, especially, you know, with friends and family and stuff like that, where they're going to be eating other kind of foods right in front of you that you can't. So you really want to get creative in the kitchen. So step 2 is learn how to get creative in the kitchen and have fun experimenting with new foods, with trying new things. You'll be shocked by how many vegan alternatives exist today. It's actually the easiest time to go vegan is now, because
Absolutely.
things exist now that it's like, it's ridiculous. We can pretty much veganize practically anything nowadays. You tell me, right in the comments, guys, those of you that are watching, I see Sori Siem is here, Nicholas, Stefan,
hello everyone.
Stefan said hi to a couple people watching. If you're there, feel free to comment in the chat. Let us know where you're from, whatever. If you have any questions, let us know. If you're vegan, if you're not vegan, if you're
Yeah, we're curious.
Wherever you are, comment in the chat. Let us know. We're here to support you if you have any questions. But yeah, so getting creative in the kitchen and learning how to cook for yourself is actually really important. Trying to go vegan. Hi, Mendocino Francesca, if I pronounce it.
Hello. We're all over the world here.
Yeah, and there's a couple ways to make that easier. I'd say the best way is to make sure that you have the right tools in your kitchen to help make cooking less time consuming, more efficient, and more fun. So having the right tools, like obviously, you know, there are things like slow cookers, blenders, rice cookers. I have something called the Thermomix, which I absolutely love, which is something that's like an all-in-one cooking appliance. So I live in the city, small counter space. So instead of having a bunch of tools, all-in-one tool that I love. But having the right kitchen tools to help making cooking easier and faster, I'd say is really important when you're trying to learn how to cook for yourself. And then of course, all the vegan recipe blogs out there, like Veginner Cooking. Of course, I'd recommend mine, but there are so many. You can literally Google any type of recipe or and you can find a vegan version of it online. Specifically at Veginner Cooking, what we try to do is focus on recipes that are very easy. So if you go to regular recipe blogs, a lot of them are really fancy, and that's one of the issues that I saw kind of that discourages people from trying to learn how to, is they get stuck on, oh my god, that's so many ingredients, or oh my god, like I don't want to do all those steps and this and that. So what I try to do with Veginner Cooking is I try to make sure every recipe is guaranteed easy, guaranteed delicious, and plant-based. So that is, you know, my promise to my viewers on there.
Yeah, I think being simple, easy, and quick is really essential when you try to transition or adopt new habits, right? Because a change is already overwhelming sometimes. You already have to convince yourself to change, and then you want that, you know, step by step to be as easier as possible, right? Especially for your body to start to adapt to new kind of food, new kind of way to cook, right? And digest food. Because I found that many people in the beginning, for example, they have a bit of discomfort when they go vegan just because they try to go all in one. So they try to eat too much of new foods, and I think the step-by-step approach is the best because you give time to your mind, to your body to adapt to new changes. So how we can make...
Couple comments real quick. I want to say hi to some of your viewers.
Yes.
Mendicino Francesca says, we usually don't eat fish because the cholesterol is high. That's awesome. I'm glad you are trying to, you know, take care of your cholesterol levels. And we have a Prince Nadia is here. Oh, thank you so much. Compliment, sweetheart.
Thank you.
And Mendy says, I have to find good recipes. Girl, I got you. Veginnercooking.com.
Yes. So you go on Cheryl page. I have a vegan cookbook, so that's how you covered.
For sure. Tell us what your favorite foods are. If you have any like favorite foods or something, we can recommend a specific recipe for you. Happy to help. Whatever you need.
Absolutely. So especially nowadays, it's really easy to substitute everything, right? Because if you hear people want to transition first, I think cheese, bacon, and stuff like this is the way that people say, oh, I cannot go vegan for. You know, they always say, oh, I cannot substitute that. But if you have lots of recipe and substitute with it and you're ready when that cravings comes by, you know, you're covered. Because like I said, I have so many people, I think cheese is the most that people cannot give up, right? Just because it's on everything.
Guilty of that. When I gave up eating meat in 2012, it took me 8 years, okay? I admit it. I'm not proud of it, but it took me 8 years to give up cheese after giving up meat because I thought I couldn't do it. I was like the dairy queen. Like I loved my cheese. I loved my... And I had given up, you know, milk and eggs, but the cheese and the ice cream, I was having a really, really tough time. And it wasn't until I watched those Netflix docs that I told you, give up the meat for my love of animals, but I ended up giving up the dairy for my health, because that's when I realized, wow, when I watched What the Health, I was like, okay, this isn't right for my body, you know? But, oh, we have some other comments here. Prince says you should try Indian food, garlic naan and buttered chicken. Buttered chicken? You know, this is a plant-based live, right?
Vegan chicken with any substitute?
Indian food, vegan Indian recipes on my blog. There's one on there that actually I'm making live this Sunday if you want to join. I'm doing curried lentils this Sunday at 4 Eastern time on my Veginner Cooking Instagram live and also on my Facebook live. And I have another recipe on there for a vegan Indian mango lassi.
Oh, fancy.
Vegan yogurt. And I also have another Indian recipe on there that's a chickpea curry. That's like my favorite chickpea curry recipe. That's super easy to make, guys. These recipes are not difficult and they taste amazing. So and they're super protein packed. So yes, I love Indian food. Obviously, I just told you guys I lived in India. So
Amazing.
But there's absolutely going to be lots more Indian food to come on my blog as well.
Oh, lovely. So, what for you? Oh,
Marika, Rob, Jasmia. Hey guys.
hello everyone. No, we have lots today. So, next question. What's for you your vegan essential in the kitchen? So something that you cannot cook without, let's say, any food, an essential utensil, or anything that, you know, someone that started should have to make life a bit easier.
Yeah, well, like I had mentioned before, my Thermomix, who I actually like to call my robot chef, I don't think I would have been able to go 100% vegan without it. I really owe a lot of the reasons why I am vegan today to that appliance, because I have I'm the type of person where I don't really like to do something if it like takes too long, because I have a super busy lifestyle. So
Yeah.
spend all day in the kitchen. I really don't. I want things to be quick, efficient.
Yeah.
I want to use my time wisely. So I don't want to sit there stirring something at a stove, blah, blah. So what I love about Thermomix is that it weighs all the ingredients as I'm putting everything in. So it's guided recipes, right? So
Wow, amazing.
yeah, it's super futuristic. So I call it my robots, like having an assistant.
Amazing.
So super futuristic, yeah. So what it has this touch screen with over 60,000 fully guided recipes, and
Wow.
what it does is it'll say, okay, put 1 ounce of fresh tomatoes, and then you add that, and then you'll see when it hits 1 ounce. So you're not sitting there for your spices having to measuring things, this and that. So that's
Yeah.
and then once you finish adding all the ingredients, you turn the knob and it turns it on and starts cooking, and you walk away and it beeps when it's done. So it's super easy because I'm not sitting there. I don't use my stove anymore. I don't have to wash
Wow.
hands anymore. So it's
Yeah.
for me while I'm working or doing whatever else I need to do while it's
Yeah.
so yeah, I actually I have access to a couple promo codes for it as well. If anyone is interested, I have a Instagram for it. It's at my robot chef.
Okay.
At my robot chef. And if anyone is interested in learning more about it, I'm happy to give like a free demo and a promo code, because like I said, it's really changed my life and helped me go vegan. I'd say that's the number one reason why when I finally went all the way, I was I never made a mistake and I never turned back, because I had that to help me get through it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just love to meal prep. First of all, because, well, I do.
Howie Foods. Hi, health coach. Hi,
Oh,
hey guys. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
amazing.
Are here and that we see you. We see you. Feel free to comment and ask questions. I want to know who's vegan.
Of course,
In the chat.
anything you
You're
want to
vegan
ask.
in the chat. No.
I don't think so, but
Dre.
I think maybe after this live, many people will consider that. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Coach Kat. Now, as a health coach, are you a plant-based health coach, or what kind of coaching do you do specifically, Kat? And Marie, I interrupted you. There was something you were about to say before.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I forgot what I was supposed to say. I forgot the question. I have some question actually that people asked before the live, because I did put a story on my Instagram there. So,
hey, she's plant-based. How long have you been vegan for, Kat? And what was your reason for transitioning?
okay, so one question is, why people think that vegan cooking is expensive?
Well, it can get expensive, but it's completely up to you. If you're eating a whole foods plant-based diet, then it's going to be way cheaper than any other diet you've ever tried. But if you're eating a lot of the plant-based alternatives, a lot of the plant-based meat and cheese alternatives, those can get pretty pricey because those are expensive to make. So those brands, they're still growing, they're still on the up and up, so they're not mass producing like the way some of the other brands are. So prices are a little bit higher for these plant-based alternatives. And it's great that these alternatives exist, don't get me wrong, because they really help with process. Like whenever I was craving meat, I would just go to the Gardein Mandarin crispy chicken plant-based alternative, and that always satisfied my craving for chicken, because their chicken is actually quite good and quite realistic. But eating that and buying that all the time, absolutely not. You know, anything that you shouldn't be eating or buying all the time. So if you're buying fresh produce, and you are making things from scratch, which you should be as a new vegan trying to cook for yourself and get creative in the kitchen, you're gonna 100% save money. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Vegan for 3 years. She wanted to avoid getting any diseases and be healthier. I hear you. I hear you. I agree with you. And Prince Nagia says, is that a lot of soybeans? Not good for hormones. So
no, it's just a myth.
anything in moderation is fine. So when it comes to soy, I know that there's a lot of mixed information on the internet about that, but it's actually fine as long as you're not eating it all the time. So don't worry about that too much. I actually I have a lot of tofu in my cooking.
Me too.
So I have a really great tofu scramble recipe that tastes awesome.
Love that.
I also have a tofu chocolate mousse, which is out of this world.
Wow. I did use tofu once to make a cake, actually, and I never tried before, and I was like, yeah, that's delicious. I never thought about baking with tofu because I always have it as a meal, you know, but never as a baking recipe. So yeah, that was interesting, and it was quite easy and versatile to
Cookbook?
Sorry?
You have that cake recipe in your cookbook?
No, actually not. No, actually no. No. So so let's see more question here. I have loads actually. So
hi Priya, hi Roxanne, hi, I'm Jessica. What's going on, guys? If you're vegan in the chat right now, put the little vegan plant emoji.
Yes, we want to know.
Those repping plant-based, put the little plant emoji in your chat. And if you are in the process of trying to transition to plant-based, you can also put that little emoji in the chat.
Yes, absolutely. So the question was for one of my followers, how to make vegan cooking fun for kids. So if you transition for all family and kids, they used to eat chicken nuggets, things like this, how to make the transition fun to them trying this new recipe and have fun with it?
Well, that's a great question, because I have some specific recipes that are perfect for kids, that they won't even care or know that it's vegan. For example, I have black bean brownies on my blog. So they're getting a healthy serving of protein and black beans, but they're eating chocolate brownies, and they will have no idea that there's black beans in there. It is impossible to tell. So that's an awesome recipe for kids. And I also have a vegan BLT on my blog, and I have a vegan grilled cheese on my blog, and I have a vegan mac and cheese recipe at Veginner Cooking.
Oh, amazing.
Got you covered for the kids. I even have homemade vegan ice cream recipes on the blog. So all that stuff, that again, we can make a vegan version of anything nowadays.
Absolutely.
So you'll find a lot of those. I mean, I tried to keep my blog mostly healthy, but I do throw in a couple of those kinds of recipes here and there, because I know people who are coming to Veginner Cooking are new to veganism. So it's important. What I do is I try to tell people to do it in stages, right? Let yourself have a lot of the fun stuff in the beginning. You can let yourself have the vegan grilled cheeses and the vegan BLTs and all that. I even have a vegan sausage and egg McMuffin on my blog. Have that stuff in the beginning, because that'll help you. It'll help you with your cravings, and it'll help you get over that first hurdle, right? And then you get deeper into your vegan lifestyle, that's when you can start trying to do healthier versions of a vegan lifestyle, because there are stages as far as how healthy you want to go, right? You know, if some people, when they get to the whole foods plant-based level, that's like the cream of the crop, right? But I don't say start with that. You know, you need to ease your way into it so that you're not, you know, feeling upset, like, you know, I just gave up everything. I gotta eat. Like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. It really, it can still be amazing, you know?
Absolutely, yes.
Prince says, I'm going to share your video. Thank you, Prince. That's so sweet. Cat put 3 of the vegan emojis. Yes, Cat.
Yes.
Tofu good for fat loss? You know, tofu is really high in protein, so it's
I use it, yes.
It could definitely help, as long as, again, when it comes to losing fat, it's more so about, you know, I'd say stick with a whole foods plant-based diet if you're trying to lose weight. You know, if you're trying to go vegan for the animals, it's different. If you're trying to go vegan for health and to really be health conscious and see the plant-based diet help you lose weight, then I would definitely stick with the whole foods plant-based diet.
Yeah, absolutely. I always choose different direction with my clients if they want to go vegan, weight loss, or muscle building, because I do have more clients towards bodybuilding style, because that's what I do basically. And there is different way to eat, of course, if you're losing fat or you're building muscle. But tofu, I use it daily, and the content of protein is amazing. So yeah, you can ask. Sorry?
Eat tofu every day?
Yeah.
Every day?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I eat a lot. I eat 6 times per day. I need to reach a high level of calories because, like I said, I'm training to be a bodybuilder, so for me it's totally different.
Yeah.
So I
eat 6 meals a day, or is it 3 meals, 2 snacks?
I know it's 6 meals per day. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's something that.
Let me some muscles. Let me see. Go like this.
Oh well.
Go like this. Yes. Yes.
We got it here. So yeah, anyway, so it's a bit different the approach than I take with my meals. But because I do need to eat that much, I need to prioritize different protein contents in each meal. So having one tofu and 1 meal and chickpeas, you know, I need to spread through the day to make sure they're all different, to make sure I'll absorb all the nutrients and vitamins and all the other stuff. So yeah, it's a bit different.
Is that some people, when they go vegan, they eat a lot of the same stuff because they're not sure.
Right.
But it really is important, no matter what kind of diet you're on, to make sure that there's flexibility in your diet, that you give yourself all different types of ingredients and nutrients so that you can get those health benefits. Right? You need a fully nutritious diet, and that requires a variety of ingredients.
Yeah. So another question was about protein. We got lots of protein questions. What's your favorite protein source? And yeah, the best protein source, vegan protein source for you, that you have to choose what you think is more, valuable, or I don't know.
You know, I love nuts. I'm a huge nut eater. I add almond butter to so many of my recipes. I add it to smoothies. I put almond butters on crackers. I'll make some of my sauces, you know, with nut butters. You know, I make my vegan mac and cheese recipe out of cashews.
Oh wow!
If you soak cashews overnight and then you blend cashews with some really yummy ingredients, some nutritional yeast to give it that cheesy flavor. Any type of cashew cream sauce is just out of this world. So think about it. You could be eating a vegan mac and cheese, and instead of eating dairy pus, you're eating cashews and vegetables, but it tastes like mac and cheese. I mean, imagine being able to get the satisfaction of a creamy, cheesy mac and cheese, but really knowing that you're eating nuts and vegetables.
Amazing, right?
To take it an extra mile, what I do is I buy chickpea pasta. So you can buy chickpea macaroni. Now you're getting an extra serving of protein from the chickpea pasta and the cashew cream sauce.
Yes.
Protein.
But I mean, some people, they just overthink about protein in general, because we all have enough protein in our diet, but because they're just so worried about it, they're just trying to load protein all the time. But if you eat healthy and with, you know, loads of variety, you will have your protein, you know, content for the day without no problem at all, not stressing out. But just that the myth of the vegan being, you know, difficult to reach protein is just there.
I would protein. People don't realize that, but plants have protein. These animals that you're eating, where do you think they're getting their protein from? Okay, the animals are eating the plants. The plants is where they get their protein, and you're just eating recycled protein. When you eat the animal, you're eating recycled protein. You're not getting the protein from the source. Ever think of it that way?
Yeah.
That way?
I think till someone. Oh, we got a question.
How many days should I eat? Are you crazy right now? You've been listening to what we're talking about.
What's the question? I didn't see that.
He said, how many eggs in a day should I eat? The answer is 0.
Zero.
But you can eat my tofu egg scramble anytime you want, all right? If you go to veginnercooking.com, click on easy recipes, click on breakfast, you will see my tofu scramble recipe, and you will see my vegan sausage and egg McMuffin. Now, for that McMuffin, what I was using to make that is a brand called Just Egg, okay? If you love eggs, Prince, check out the brand Just Egg. It is the #1 egg alternative that I have found in the plant-based world thus far. They have something called Just Egg Folded, which are these little like kind of like an omelet kind of, what is the word?
Yeah.
And it tastes just like the real thing. I promise you cannot tell the difference. You have the Just Egg Folded with the Beyond Meat sausage patty and vegan English muffin. And if you want to even put on some plant,
Yes. Yeah, let's not mistake vegetarian for vegan, please. Okay, it's 2 different things.
Okay. He's vegetarian. I was vegetarian for 8 years.
All right, see?
I thought I couldn't give up dairy. And the second I gave up dairy, you want to know what happened? My acne cleared up, my congestion went away, my bloating went away, I slept better, I had more energy. I thought that I was vegetarian, that I was good. But once I gave up the dairy, it was another level, okay?
You know, I've been pescatarian for 7 years. It was the opposite. For me, I did give up everything, but no fish. I born in Italy, where fresh fish was available for me every day. So that's why I think that was the most difficult for me to give up, to be honest. And I took 7 years to give up fish. But I did in the end, so yeah.
We understand each other in a way, you know?
Yes, yeah. There was no problem to give up cheese, even though I did like cheese. It just, I don't know why. Yeah.
You know, when you really understand and come to terms with what cheese is, it's such a turnoff. It's such a turnoff, and now I just can't even get out of my head the fact that do you know that legally they are allowed to leave pus in the milk and the cheese and all of that? There's a legal limit for the amount of pus that's allowed to be in the milk and cheese that you are eating, okay? So when you realize that you are ingesting pus that might have been infected, that had to go through like a filtration system to try to get the infection and the blood out of it, and that's what you're putting in your body. I mean, come on, and it's all about, you know what? I have another thing to do before step 1, before going vegan. You want to know what that is? Get educated. Get educated, #1. I think that's the first thing you should do before you even think about trying to transition.
Yeah, research, get educated, yeah.
So much that's being hidden from us, from the public, okay? There's so much that we don't know because we only see what's being put out there, milk. Body good, milk good for your bones. Absolutely not. We've been lied to for so long that, but now they can't lie to us anymore because we have knowledge at our disposal anytime, anywhere we want. You can type it on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet, and you can learn for yourself. So step 1 before even trying to transition is get educated and make your own decisions from your own judgment. And not what society is telling you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for me, I already knew everything. I grew up in a farm. So for me, it was like, yeah.
That would have been awesome.
So like, I'm the only vegan in the family for this reason.
Oh wait, on like a happy farm or like a not so happy farm?
There is no happy farm if you kill animal, I think.
Well,
You cannot.
first farm sanctuaries, when you said you grew up on a farm, like that's
I'm talking about
like
traditional farm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, that's what my parents, my family do at the moment as well, still. So that's why for me it was even more difficult to do all this transition. But like we all said, if you know why you're doing it, and even if nobody else around you wants to transition, they support you, that's fine. You can still do it, especially now that everything is available for you.
Does your family still have that farm?
Yes.
And they haven't changed anything even after everything you've taught them?
No. It's just I come from South Italy, so it's really, really old-minded, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's completely different how they envision stuff there. So you will find some vegan option, but I don't know anyone that is vegan from there, to be honest, right? So is it really something that is not synced in yet?
What does your
Yeah.
family think about what you do?
Oh, there was like in the beginning, there was just joking about it, you know. It's just like, oh, you're not gonna last or whatever. They support me. They know that I really believe in what I'm doing, and they do support me 100%. But they still, you know, when every time I go, maybe in holiday there, they're still trying to say, oh, you know, eat a bit of that, eat an egg. So they still like in a funny way try to, but they still understand. They don't push, but you know, they kind of understand, because for them it's normal, and you cannot change someone's mind sometimes. It just doesn't listening was the reason. And if you do that as a job, it's even more difficult, I think, you know.
I think you need to kind of have something within you that kind of always felt like this isn't right, let me go learn about it, you know.
Yeah.
And like you said, a lot of cultures, they just don't understand. Like a lot of my family in Puerto Rico, like they roast pigs on a stick and they have a party around it, and that's part of the culture, you know. Like for me, that's horrific, but to them, that's a celebration. That's a family situation, you know. That's just kind of like so to get it's hard to get people to understand sometimes, and that's okay. I mean, of course it's sad, but you know, I think that we've come a long way in educating the public, and I know that this is just the beginning. And more and more and more and more people are starting to learn for themselves and starting to want to make this transition, not only for themselves, but for the environment, for the animals, for so many reasons.
Totally.
That this, I mean, vegan is trending right now. It really is. Plant-based
Yeah.
and it is only going to explode from here. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why, like you said in the beginning, is the best, you know, time to really transition, because everything is going that way. I mean, before, if you was like 5 years ago and you would say I'm vegan, you had no option at all. You had no support at all or backup that really showed that what you're saying is there and it's true. Like you said, now going to a coffee shop, there is a plant-based milk there. Before, all you had to pay extra for it, or there was no option. So yeah, so one tip that you would like to say to someone that is transitioning, and yeah.
You know what I'd say is I offer free plant-based cooking classes every other Sunday, and they're live, and we can cook along together, and you can ask questions, and I have tons of people there who are also cooking along with us, and everyone is so supportive of each other, no matter where you are on your personal journey. There's no judgment, and everyone's here to just kind of have fun and cook together. So if you want to be a part of that, like I said, it's 100% free, and I also give away a free gift at every single class as well.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend, cooking with us, learning some cool new recipes, getting creative in the kitchen. If you want to try my free 30-day vegan challenge, you can do that right on my blog, or you can even do it on our mobile app. So you can do it on the go on your phone. It comes with like a tracking calendar, so you can kind of keep track of your progress every day, and and see how you're doing. So and I'm there to help you and help guide you. Everyone that I can get to eat vegan just one day, that's statistically every day that you eat vegan, you're saving an animal. So it's really incredible, and I'm happy to help anyone who's trying to get there. So vegan.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you in this episode.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, you make sure you let me know in the comment below. Let me know if you would like to see any guests or any subject that you want me to discuss in the next episode. You make sure you follow me on Instagram. I will put it here below, because there every week there is the live episode, and then of course you can rewatch it here. So make sure you subscribe, you take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week.